El Pollo Loco moving ahead with growth plans for 2015. I'm joined by the CEO, Steve Sather. Good to see you here in New York.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Let's start first with some numbers. You recently reported earnings, total revenue up 8% in 2014, restaurant comp sales also up. Can you beat those numbers in 2015?
Well, we're focused on growth, and we'll do a great job in 2015. We feel very good about our first quarter, but as you know, we can't talk about that yet, but we'll report that soon.
At the same time, there's some challenges ahead, I'm assuming, on the labor front. In California, where you have much of your business, minimum wage will be rising next year. How does that play into your business planning?
Well, if you look in California, actually, last summer of 2014, they went to a $9 minimum wage, and in January of 2016, so coming up at the end of this year, we go to $10 minimum wage. So California is already kind of ahead of that curve, but we'll leave that up to local lawmakers. We focus on creating a great environment for our employees, many of which are part-time, and it's their first job. So,
any trouble finding workers now?
You know, we haven't had that, and we have a very low turnover rate. The employees seem to love working in our establishments, and many of them have gone on into management positions and multi-unit. So they're very career. Again, some are part-time and students that work there. Others have stayed on and made it a career.
But in terms of the wages going up again next year, will it eat into profits, do you think?
Well, obviously, I have to look at raising prices. That's always a last thing that we do. We don't want to do that frequently because that just makes it more expensive for the consumer. But we've already prepared for that.
Although I would assume some competitors might raise prices too, so perhaps it would
be
kind
equal
of cancel
for
each
everybody.
other out.
Yes.
What are you seeing in terms of costs, poultry, for instance? What are your expectations for some of the input costs this year?
Yeah, if you look at this year, really it was very high. Normally, the cost of chicken, cost of poultry follows corn futures. Corn at a peak was about over $7. Now it's down at $4 or even under $4. One of the things is there's been a tremendous demand from those that use beef because cattle that also has corn as a feed product. That has been very expensive, and that takes a longer time. So you get a lot of the QSRs, McDonald's, et cetera, and they're focusing on their chicken products. So that made it a little higher. We think we took a price increase in just at February of this year to cover the increased costs, but we think by fall of next year we'll start to see the chicken prices start to come down again. So that could be in our favor as minimum wage goes up.
Now, in terms of your expansion plans, you've said you want to open 27 new restaurants. Geographically, what are you looking at, and are you concerned at all about moving away from the California base?
Well, we're in, as you know, we're in 5 states. We've got 416 stores.
Primarily West Coast.
Primarily West Coast, yes. And our most recent expansion was in the Houston market. We opened 2 stores there last summer and fall, opened another store in January, and we're very pleased with the Houston expansion. We'll open another 5 to 7 more this year in Houston. And in fact, we've gone on to Dallas and are in the process of signing leases in Dallas for 2016. So the Texas market has been very good to us. Additionally, we brought on a franchisee, Neil Yadav, who's one of Jack in the Box's largest franchisees, and he has stores already in the San Antonio market. He's going to do 8 more El Pollo Locos in San Antonio and 12 in the Houston market with us.
So it looks like Texas is definitely where
Texas is a good growth market for us. And ultimately, people always ask, will this be a national brand? When are you coming to the East Coast? That's the big question I always get in New York. I wouldn't be here if it couldn't be a national brand. But right now, we have over 300 trade areas in the Southwest that we could go to in addition to our existing 400 stores.
Another chicken restaurant chain, Bojangles, filed to go public this week. Anything you learned from your IPO that you could perhaps pass on to the management team as they prepare to go?
Oh, no, I think that's a good brand, different than ours. Ours is flame-grilled, citrus marinated. Theirs is deep-fried. But no, first of all, it's a tremendous experience for the management team. And pass on, just be ready to know your numbers. Know your numbers and keep them good. That always helps. Good comp sales always helps.
Steve Sather, great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for TheStreet.